Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. My name is Bob Abbott. We're presented, hosted by Hyland's. Stop your cramp, not your race. By Polar. Check out the Polar Vantage M and Marathon Edition. UCAN is our other sponsor. Perform, work out, energize. How often do you get two legends of endurance on the same panel? We've got Karen Smyers, Ironman World Champion, two-time ITU World Champion. 2 or 3?
3 if you count long distance.
I count long distance. 3-time ITU
these
World
days
Champion.
I count everything.
And a gentleman who I've known for many, many years, premier cyclist, I still say Tour de France champion, Mr. Floyd Landis.
Hey, Bob. Good to see you again.
So good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me on your show here. This is a new environment for me, the whole running thing, but I like it.
Being at a running expo, how cool is this?
Yeah,
Did you
great.
have any idea this even existed?
No, apparently. I guess it's not new either. No one told me.
Yeah. It's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, no, it's really, the atmosphere here is great. I'm really looking forward to seeing the run on Monday. It won't be running, but
And you didn't have a heck of a lot of background in business. So talk a little bit about what you're doing, Floyd's of Leadville.
Yeah, so we make a line of products that are based on hemp and hemp extracted oil and CBD oil, and for recovery and for people are trying to manage inflammation and pain.
And so, Kara, are you running this year?
I am not running the marathon. I'll be out running around a little.
You'll be some of the people
I'll run back and forth on the block to
on the hill.
Yeah. Although I'm not coaching the MS team this year, but I'll be out cheering for them anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, had you and Floyd ridden before?
We have been on a bike ride before, and it was tons of fun. He was amazing.
I think I could ride the bike.
And this is after he was retired for many, many years, and he was still a legend in the pack. Yeah,
always a legend in the pack. Yes. So, Karen, what do you do now, fitness-wise?
I try to keep up with the people I coach mostly, so
Yeah.
I'll do a few races every year, but I am training mostly just really seriously to keep up with the people that I coach they seem to be getting better, and I don't know what's going on. Good coaching, I guess.
What was fascinating to me is you had such a decorated career before you won Ironman World Championship in '95, but probably a lot of people didn't know you. Right, because a lot of the other races you won were ITU World Championships, and they certainly didn't get the exposure Ironman got. How did that change things for you when all of a sudden you win the Ironman World Championship?
It definitely brings up the visibility because it's the one race outside of the sport that people will recognize,
Right.
So, and it's on TV too. So I did get starting, I got a little more recognized, even just in my town,
Right.
Because I could be, I could be world champion at the ITU distance and go into the grocery store and nobody would know me.
Mm-hmm.
But after Ironman, it definitely got a little more attention. So it was totally fun, but it was also still nothing like being a real celebrity.
And Floyd, for you growing up, you grew up in a family where riding a bike was something you couldn't do, right? You weren't allowed to be an athlete.
Yeah, riding your bike was fun, but taking it to
Being a
extreme,
professional.
Yeah, just organized sports at that level was sort of frowned upon, but
You couldn't have an e-bike probably, right?
Oh, man,
No
have you
motors?
tried these things? They're the greatest thing ever. Oh, man. That's
You're
what I
living
ride
on an
now.
e-bike,
Yeah.
aren't you?
It's the
Now,
best.
Floyd, do you still ride? You ride road? You ride mountain? What do you do?
I ride
E-bike?
Been riding a mountain bike a bit, and the e-bikes are fun. In fact, I think they'll get people into cycling because you get on it and you feel like a kid. They go fast, right? But no, I ride when it's sunny out now, so I get fat in the winter, and then I try to lose weight in the summer. That's my current plan.
I remember when you got into road racing, and you were on a U.S. team, and then the team, and we still have this issue, the team just went away and left you without a lot of money that you were owed.
Yeah, cycling, it's tough, right? Because it's a fairly expensive sport, and
Yeah.
it relies on sponsors, and it's not uncommon that, sponsors have their own financial issues in the middle of the year, and that's what happened to us. But, it's still, look, I love the sport. I've had my, ups and downs with it, but it's fun.
Yeah, and I remember back in the day we chatted, and at one point you were talking about when you have to come forward and confess about what happened. It's not hard to say I did something. The hard part is saying these are other people, because that's so contrary, right? Was that one of the reasons you think it took so long for everything to come down?
Yeah, that's partly it. I mean, look, these were my friends and the guys that I had raced with, and I didn't want them to go through what I had been through. But and I don't know. There was a time when I thought, okay, it's best if I just don't say anything and let it be because I don't think they can fix it. And then at some point I felt guilty, and it wasn't fun to talk to people. And they'd always say, look, we feel so bad for you. You're innocent. And I just made me feel bad. And, yeah, I still kind of regret putting everyone else through it, but I can't change it. It's just what it was.
You can't really change that. And when I tell people all the time, you're in the U.S. and you're a high school graduate, and you want to go to Europe because that's where all the money is in track and field, in cycling, or whatever your profession is, then you get over there and find out what they're doing. You're sort of in position of, do I come back to the States and become a barista at Starbucks, or do I do what everybody else is doing because nobody seems to be doing anything about it?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough decision. I've been out of it for 12 years now. I watch bike racing from time to time, but I'm not part of it anymore. And I don't know. I hope it's better because it's an unfortunate decision to have to make.
And it just seemed like, especially with something like Tour de France, the whole idea was to make it harder and harder and harder, which I think sort of shoves people towards that end of it. And that never seemed to be – the athletes were never involved with what the course was going to be, right? You guys had no input.
No, the athletes didn't have any input on that. And I don't know if that necessarily was – look, any sporting event is hard, whether it's 100 meters or the marathon. I mean, at some level, when you're trying to win at the top, it's hard. But
when there's money,
yeah. But you're right. Stuff. To some extent, the race is so long that those kinds of hormones and those drugs work better. I mean, the longer it is, the more fatigue you have, the better they work. And so, yeah, it's tough.
And Karen, we had at the Olympic level, we had Bridget McMahon, who went positive, but she won the gold medal in 2000. It wasn't taken away because she didn't get positive then. She went positive years later. My feeling is she probably was using back then too. Did you have the feeling, was there thoughts about, I wonder if other people I'm competing against are using? I just wonder if there was enough money in triathlon to even get to the level that we had in cycling.
Yeah, I would say that when I was competing, there wasn't a feeling that you had to use in order to do well. Right. I mean, there was if there would be little suspicions every once in a while. You'd see a performance, you'd be like, "Well, that's didn't weird, seem quite right." A lot of times, Kraft. Yeah, exactly. It was very funny. I was racing that year, and I had told a friend who was spectating, I'm like, all right. He's like, what do you want me to tell you on the course? I'm like, well, tell me how far I am behind the leader. And so after a while, he's like, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Pretty soon I'm like, all right, just give it to me in hours. I'm like, all right, forget that advice. I want to know how far I am behind second, okay?
Well, that was
because it was ridiculous.
The only person ever got disqualified from Ironman for doping was a woman named Nina Kraft who admitted to using EPO. And the deal was we're doing the live call. Huddle and I doing a live call. She's got like a pump hanging off the side of the bike. She's wearing a Mr. T starter kit of jewelry and all this stuff. Like, she's not very aero, right? And she's putting 30 minutes on.
She was biking with the guys practically.
Yeah, she's biking with the guys, dropping the guys. You're going, this doesn't look right. And then the day of the pro meeting, I don't know if you remember this, they're at the pro conference, she's sitting there, and it's Kona. It's 110 degrees out. She is shivering. And she's like dressed like, oh, she must have the flu or something because I'm so oblivious to that.
I would have been oblivious too.
She's got a little issue going on. But that was the only time we've had somebody get caught doing it.
Well, that's the problem with it. It works. I mean, you see it, right? And that's why it's so tempting. This stuff works.
After you won, was there a feeling of guilt? I mean, it's how you won, but you know what everybody's doing.
Yeah, it's a conflicted thing. I mean, you know that everybody in the sport that's in on it knows, but you also have to put up this facade for the public, and it's not a good position to be in. I don't ever wish to be there again.
No, and so now you're comfortable with yourself and everything. You're loving being an endurance guy and just going out and riding and doing your thing.
Yeah, I still enjoy riding. I do it now for the feeling. I took all the power meters and everything off my bike. Now I just ride around for fun.
What'd you take off your bike?
All the power meters and the speedometers. It's all gone. I don't need it anymore.
Well, I remember. Of course he's happy. Look at the product that he's working with every day.
He's always happy. Floyd's of Leadville. I like it.
We sell happiness, man.
He sells happiness.
Can you get the same excitement from being a business guy as you can from being an athlete?
Yeah, you don't get that. Look, that kind of thrill and that amount of risk for that amount of time. Some of those races are so long. That's a feeling you can't really ever recreate. But we do have a good team of people, and it's similar to, you know, having a team of cyclists and trying to keep things organized. Everybody has a rule, and that part of it's fun.
Any contact with any of the guys, like Tyler Hamilton, or
Yeah, you know,
everybody sort of in their own?
Yeah, people kind of went their own ways. I mean, I think that some of the guys that we used to race with those years live down in Greenville. Hincapie lives down there. Bobby Julich. I don't see those guys at all. Tyler, yeah, maybe once a year I hear from him. He's a great guy. I hope he's doing well. Dave Zabriskie stays in touch. He and I are still close friends, but that's about it, really.
Any racing in your future, or
No,
none whatsoever?
No, that's enough for me.
It's sort of like back to
It
the
doesn't even
purity
seem
of just
safe,
riding,
honestly.
right?
Yeah, no, I like to ride now. I look at the race and I think, man, that's dangerous. I don't know what I was doing.
And you were one of those daredevils.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
You brought
man.
mountain
I think
bike handling into the peloton.
Yeah, I
People
grew
were
up
talking
now.
about you as a crazy man.
Yeah, though that's
What was-
not coming back.
Floyd, what was the best day you ever had on a bike?
Oh man, that's a good question. I wouldn't say it's in races. I think if I look back and think about it, there were days where I got more satisfaction out of just training
You
for
like
the
to
races.
train.
Yeah, I like to be by myself. I could think. You know, you know the feeling, right?
Yeah.
I hated training. No,
I mean,
You like to race.
training
I much
necessarily.
prefer racing, but
Karen was always a racer.
Yeah.
She did minimal training.
Yeah, some people do better that way, just focusing on that. I'd like to be on my own and kind of.
You could just go ride all day.
Yeah,
And I remember
yeah.
you did. Didn't you do part of our $1 Million Challenge?
I did,
our CFN?
yeah. Is that
you have
still
your little
going on?
dog in a backpack or
Yeah,
something?
no, that was Mari's dog.
Okay, Mari Holden's
Yeah,
dog. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, she's still doing well too, but
Those type of rides are where you just ride with people and
those
just
are fun.
enjoying the day.
Yeah, those are fun. And specifically that one in California down the coast, you can't beat that.
$1 Million Challenge. I think
yeah.
Karen might like that.
Yeah, oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
For
a
sure.
5-star catered ride down the coast that's
It's
pretty
great.
unbelievable. It's a
Yeah.
business trip down the coast, and you happen to be on a bike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
it's
good.
the real deal.
Floyd, is there expansion in the future for your business, or?
Yeah, you know, we focused on, initially we got distribution into bike shops because it was easy because
Yeah.
of who I am, and we're trying to get into the running side of things. And I mean, yeah, we're doing whatever we can to get the name out and get people educated on sort of the value of using CBD to replace Advil and things like that. And
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
When you meet people from the world of cycling, and what's the response most of the time from just average fans?
It's generally positive. I mean, I think now enough time has passed and there's more context, not just with cycling, but sports in general. I don't know. It's hard for me to say specifically. People are generally nice anyway. I don't know what they really think, but people are generally polite. So
People are always
yeah.
nice. Love it. I appreciate you taking time and coming.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to hijack your
Not at
show.
all.
This was
You're much
Not
more
at
interesting.
all.
No, come on.
It's such an honor to be able to catch up, man. It's been a long
thanks.
time.
We'll have
We
to,
had a couple
to get
number
together
of
again.
Good
I need
conversations.
maybe
over.
next year I'll join you on that $1 Million Challenge again.
You
if
should
guys are
come
doing
down
it.
to
I'd
$1
like
Million
to.
Challenge. You
Yeah.
would love it. It's a really,
I'll do
really
that.
good time.
So,
yeah.
give me a reason to go back to San Diego.
They're missing you in Temecula.
Oh, I know. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing. Is that where they are now?
I'm sorry.
Wait, did the $1 Million ride go through Temecula?
It
doesn't
should
go-
go
it
through
should go.
Temecula.
No, that would be a little
That would
hard.
be pretty fun. Thank you both for coming on, Care. Always a
pleasure.
pleasure. Thank you
Yeah.
for loaning me your husband for a couple days.
Oh yeah, I hope he's doing a great job.
Oh, he's killing it. He's killing it. Yeah. You wanted to promote your movie? Come on, promote his. I hear Mike has
Yeah,
a
let's
new
hear
movie.
it. What
Yes,
movie?
Michael is very good at this because he's just been working on a movie, The Sweeney Killing Sweeney, a comedy. It's coming out on iTunes. You can pre-order it right now if you go to Sweeney Killing Sweeney.
Sweeney killing Sweeney. All right. We gotta
Excellent.
promote
And I have a whole 3 seconds of fame in that movie.
it. You were
yes.
in it.
Yes.
Is Floyd in it?
No.
Oh,
Not
he
that I
should
know
have
of.
been,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I think Floyd wants
Maybe
a
the
cameo.
next one.
We'll
Okay,
put a
I'll
cameo
sign
there.
up.
I love it. Floyd,
Thanks,
an
Bob.
honor, man.
Thank
Always
you.
a
Good to
pleasure.
see you
Karen,
guys.
you are the best. Again, Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. How cool is this? We get Floyd Landis and Karen Smyers together. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back.